Kendrick Lamar recently sat down with Ebro and Nadeska for their Apple Music halftime show interview hosted in New Orleans in preparation for Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show. And after watching this incredible interview, I am more confident than ever that Kendrick Lamar is not your savior, like he said in Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
The cat is out the bag, I am not your savior. Tupac dead, gotta think for yourself.
But Kendrick Lamar's music discography, which is also known as his art that he has given to the art form that is known to be hip hop, is definitely the savior for the hip hop genre.
One thing about music, when it hit, you feel no pain.
Where the impact of Kendrick Lamar's music discography alone has shifted hip hop back to the fundamentals and foundations of what made it so amazing from the start of its foundation on August 11th, 1973. If you know what I mean. Which makes me very happy for Kendrick Lamar and for the state of hip hop.
Bitch, are you happy for me?
Really?
Really, are you happy for me? Smiling my...
Now, before I go over why Kendrick Lamar's music discography is the savior for the hip hop genre, I want to go over my highlights for this interview that left me feeling more grateful for Kendrick Lamar as a hip hop artist, starting with the beginning of the interview. When Kendrick Lamar expresses how he has come up from the culture of battle rap, which is essentially the foundation of how hip-hop started in its pure form since the birth of hip-hop in 1973, highlighting incredible battle rappers like Loaded Lux and his close friend Daylight.
I love when artists grit their teeth. Like, I still watch battle raps, Murder Mook to Lux to Tay-Rock, you know, my bro Daylight. This has always been the core definition of who I am.
The phenomenal battle rapper who has helped the pen of Drizzle Cake in the past and is still waiting on a response from Joey Badass.
And you was at the party, scraping and scrambling.
I like when you like this, Daddy. When you scrambling and scraping for shit.
No,
I like that.
I would apologize for Big, but that's some shit that y'all mans did. They let the lie out.
Kendrick Lamar's acknowledgement of his passion for battle rap shows Kendrick Lamar's motives with battling hip-hop's biggest entertainer and sweetest pastry, Drizzle Marie, making it clear that it started as an art form of expression, the same type of expression that comes from battle rapping and battle rappers that Kendrick Lamar used to watch, the same type of battle rappers that he just mentioned in this interview.
I think a lot of people was putting rap to the back, and you didn't see that. You didn't see that grit. You didn't see that bite anymore. So I always took that in consideration in going into any type of my music.
Going back to 1973, thanks to the legendary DJ Kool Herc, who held the first back-to-school party in the Bronx that introduced the sounds and foundations of what's known to be hip-hop. Shout out to the Bronx.
South Bronx, the South Bronx, South Bronx, the South Bronx.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that she got.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got.
It's still DJ Kool Herc from the block. He used to have a little, and he's given a lot to what we all know and love as hip-hop. Sorry, J-Lo. And from the very beginning, the art form of battling from breakdancing to self-expression with funk vinyls that ended up turning into a hip-hop art form is the same type of essence that Kendrick Lamar has continued to keep with his music from the very beginning of his mixtape era to the very current time with his album GNX. Kendrick Lamar has never lost the foundation of what hip-hop means to him, and it's clear within his music. From the beginning of his career with his mixtapes, that essence of battle rapping, self-expression, to currently now with his latest release with GNX, which is why in my honest opinion, Drizzle Cake will never gain that same type of respect that he had once had in hip-hop when he too was a rapper who appreciated the art form of battle rapping, where multiple battle rappers over the years have mentioned how much Drake loves and values that same art form, where he used to attend these events. To go from that to now suing for defamation because you didn't like what Kendrick Lamar said to you in a rap battle that you intended to start with your sneak dissing for the last decade. Again, suing for defamation for free expression is literally anti-hip-hop in its pure form. I don't know what OVO Mall does not get about that. Yet he's from the Bronx.
South Bronx, the South Bronx.
Hip-hop should always be allowed for you to freely express yourself and take it to a level where you might be so far gone. Right, Drizzle Cake?
Hey there, pretty girl.
Because Screwface John explains it perfectly how before there was ever a recorded rap song that made it to #1 on Billboard, the actual art form of the hip-hop genre started through battling, whether it was break-dancing battles or rap battles from the very beginning of its foundation.
It's actually a beautiful thing
that a diss track, a battle record, did what Not Like Us did. Because the essence of hip hop has always been competitive nature. Breakdance battles, there was rap battles, there were DJ battles before there was ever a recorded song. Come on now. Battle rap predates the industry. Niggas think the hip hop culture is the hip hop industry. No, nigga. The industry was just a byproduct that came in and monetized the culture.
Another interview highlight was Kendrick Lamar mentioning how his love for hip-hop, predominantly on the West Coast growing up as a good kid in his mad city, has really helped shape his own music that he has given to hip-hop and his fans, where the roots and foundation of hip-hop were always in Kendrick Lamar's DNA.
My cousins was like DJ Quick, and Dre, these folks that my people was playing, so I always had that DNA.
I got hustle, though ambition flow inside my DNA. I was born like this, immaculate conception.
And you heard that DNA a little bit on Good Kid, Mad City, but I wanted to tell my story first, right? Fast forward to GNX, I felt it was just a perfect time because not only the energy was lost, but it was the energy that was bubbling inside of me as well. I wanted to go back to the forefront of just the bite and just the grit of rap, just all raps and hard-ass beats.
By growing up loving and appreciating hip-hop artists like DJ Quick, Ice Cube, and his hip-hop mentor, Dr. Dre, and how their musical influences alongside other influences from hip-hop artists are elements that have allowed him to have a free range of creative expression where when he is writing his songs and putting thoughts into motion, he pulls from his own personal thoughts, but can also take it to another level where he's speaking on the behalf of another person's perspective, people that are close to his inner circle, that have inspired him some way to get his pen back into motion and being able to grasp different perspectives that differ from his own personal perspective, where he explains how his writing process is like writing down a book, where he's able to pull you in as a listener to his music, with an intro giving a great narration to a story that's about to begin, that will make you follow the chapters into the book all the way to the very end.
When I think about concepts and I think about what I actually believe and what I feel, go through a breakdown is I'm reading a book, and how I want people to hear this from a book sequence. So my initial process is, okay, how can I open them up to the story and how can I drive them to the ending point to make them feel truly exactly what I'm trying to convey, whether they take their own perspective from it or they take mine. I just want you to feel it first.
Yo,
I really resonated with this part of the interview because it allows me to understand Kendrick Lamar more as one of my favorite artists in hip hop, where he is telling you, this is my DNA. I'm born with this, where I grew up listening to music that inspired me from DJ Quick, Dr. Dre, which I must say DJ Quick in this album right here, while it was not a part of my generation, maybe a little 10 years, 15 years past my time, I grew up admiring hip hop and look up hip hop artists that were before my time. With Kendrick Lamar talking about DJ Quick, Dr. Dre, it reminds me why I love him so much. Because Kendrick Lamar is able to pull the passion and the same type of energy from multiple hip hop legends, not just Tupac. Sometimes when you're listening to him, you'll hear Pac, then you'll hear Nas, then you'll hear Ice Cube, then you'll hear Andre 3000. You never know what he's going to give you, but one thing he will give you is quality because he has importance for the culture. And he takes the hip-hop genre serious like an art form that it truly is. Just like Kendrick Lamar is appreciating DJ Quick always gave his appreciation to the great late Eazy-E, where DJ Quick got his very first break in hip-hop thanks to Eazy-E being alongside Playa Ham and their Penthouse Players Click duo that was signed under Eazy-E's Ruthless record label in 1992. If you know, you know.
Yo, quick, kick that shit. Now the seconds take a licking like a Timex, cause I'm a true and I'm rolling like a Rolex. So if you're looking in the source mag and don't see me, it's cause the fucking East Coast is the enemy.
DJ Quick always knew how to give love to the OGs and give you something for the mood, something to get into while you sip a cognac and kick back, cause that's what I'm doing.
I'm giving you something for the mood, something to get you in the groove, so sip the cognac and kick back.
No matter what type of direction Kendrick Lamar will take you, he will take you into a conversation that gives you a message that embodies importance with thought-provoking ideas for the hip-hop culture that continue to push the culture in the right direction. Here is why, in my honest opinion, Kendrick Lamar's music discography is the savior for the hip-hop genre and its future moving forward, putting the culture first in his albums. Kendrick Lamar has cemented his legacy in hip hop in the same type of way like Michael Jordan did when it came to basketball and going to the NBA. When anytime he went for a championship run, the spotlight was on him and he delivered every single time and pushed the culture of basketball in the right direction, just simply for Michael Jordan's love of the game on and off the court, which is very similar to every studio album that Kendrick Lamar has released from the beginning with Good Kid, Mad City. If you look at the entire discography, whether you love or hate some of those albums, you can't deny the impact off each project that are studio albums from Kendrick Lamar. And he won his own championship every time he released one of these albums. But with Kendrick Lamar's incredible studio albums, he had an incredible start before he made it mainstream or on the professional level, just like Michael Jordan in college with the North Carolina Tar Heels. Kendrick Lamar delivered with mixtapes from the very start of his career, like Overly Dedicated and the critically acclaimed Section 80, achieving success before the start of his legacy on the professional level. Similar to Michael Jordan's run with North Carolina Tar Heels, being around the great 1982 championship and their run with the Tar Heels as a freshman, and winning college basketball awards after that, showcasing his greatness before the real games and the draft in the NBA, Kendrick Lamar had the same come up, especially with Section 80, as the new up-and-coming superstar for hip-hop and music in general. Kendrick Lamar had greatness before he got drafted into the professional league of what we call hip-hop on a mainstream level. Especially when he grabs the attention from his biggest mentor who signed him, Dr. Dre. Kendrick Lamar's love for hip-hop and appreciating the art form from the very beginning of his career has been the same type of formula that he has given. But again, it all comes from the writing process of Kendrick Lamar, where he's writing a book for you as a hip-hop listener to listen to and actually go through the book with him every single chapter, like with Good Kid, Mad City, creating a book with captivating chapters that drove you around in his mama's van, with commentary of Kendrick Lamar's adolescence, detailing the challenges of growing up in a gang-affiliated neighborhood with drug influence everywhere, and sharing his own experiences to even his family and his homies' experiences that he grew up with standout tracks like Art of Peer Pressure.
Look at me, I got the blunt in my mouth. Usually I'm drug free, but shit, I'm with the homies. Ride for my motherfucking niggas, hop out.
Driving with Kendrick Lamar and his homies who were on a mission to break in a home with the ultimate mission of being accepted by the same people that he grew up with. Lost kids looking for acceptance, but all have a different perspective. Then to a record like Sing For Me, Dying of Thirst, where Kendrick embodies the perspectives of people who have passed on in his life, speaking for the people that can't speak for themselves on this record.
And I love you cause you love my brother like you did. And if I die before your album drop, I hope when the lights shut off.
Which is a full circle moment for an album like GNX, which embodies another similar type of theme with Reincarnated, where Kendrick is taking himself out of his own personal feelings and giving different perspectives from other musical legends that are no longer with us, being reincarnated into Kendrick on the last verse, who's speaking to God, asking for love and forgiveness, but still fighting those inner demons for wanting war.
Trying to push peace in LA, but you love war. No, I don't. Oh, yes, you do. How can they forgive when there's no forgiveness in your heart? I could tell you where I'm going. I could tell you who you are.
Whether the album has a different theme or message, from Good Kid, Mad City to Pimp a Butterfly, that talks about social economic issues that are going on in minority communities, primarily black neighborhoods that are heavily affected by police brutality, and foreshadowed a lot of things that were going to happen in the recent years after that album's release. With an album like Damn, that shows Kendrick Lamar struggling with his morality and faith with God, fighting his inner demon that have shaped him as a man thanks to his environment and being raised up in American society. As you can see, there's a pattern with Kendrick Lamar in every studio album he has released. He's going to give you a message, he's going to make you think, and he's always going to push the hip-hop culture and genre forward.
I just think about the culture, really. It's always that for me first. I'm not even bullshitting with you. It's like, when people talk about rap, man, the conversations I hear, they think it's just rap and it's not an actual art form. When you put records like that at the forefront, it reminds people that 50 years ago, they forget that it's even been here 50 years, right? And like kind of like belittle it. So I love to see that it gets that type of recognition for just straight raps, from awards to the billboards, all that, because this is truly just as big as an art form and a genre as any other genre. So that's what I think about, and I feel accomplished being able to do that.
which is why I give no fucks about Drizzle Cake. We all like Drake's music, but he does not love hip hop. He's the one that started this issue with battle rapping another rapper and then suing for defamation when it didn't go his way. That is not hip hop. If anything, that is literally anti-hip hop. So yes, I like Drizzle Cake's music, especially from 2009 to 2016. Views is a great album, but he is a pop entertainer who does rap music. It's okay to admit it, OVO Molina.
What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Kendrick Lamar makes it very clear that PG Lane is more than just music. He's trying to push a movement with 30 people on his team outside of just hip hop music, but movies, film, fashion, all intertwining with hip hop and the culture.
Shout out to PG Lane. We are doing something that will long live the culture. You know, from a music standpoint, from a creative standpoint, fashion, film, books, outside of my usual norm, it challenges me. And I can't wait to see what happens next. I know it's going to happen next.
Which is very similar to what Tupac Shakur wanted to do with his new record label, Euthanasia, when he expressed the same similar ideas. And similar to Kendrick Lamar, what Tupac wanted to do in 1996 is push the culture forward with his record label, but not just with music, with movies, with films, y todo. I'm telling you, Kendrick Lamar definitely embodies Tupac in the best way possible. Even if it's a little overkill, he won 5 Grammys. He deserved at least 3 to 4 of those for the rap categories. When somebody just has that one record and it actually does that much for a movement in hip hop, it takes it back to the fundamentals and what we all love about it from the very beginning when we weren't even here in 1973. Thank you to hip hop, thank you to Kendrick Lamar, and thank you all for watching. And very quickly, I want to acknowledge Ebro and Nadeska for doing an incredible job with focusing on Kendrick Lamar as an artist instead of focusing on the battle between him and Drizzle Cake, because it allowed for a great conversation that allowed us to understand Kendrick Lamar more as a songwriter and his true passion for hip-hop. Ebro showcases his love for hip-hop by acknowledging Kendrick Lamar's GNX album that showcases parallels and sounds of an Ice Cube's America's Most Wanted album from 1990, to a Public Enemy, Fight the Power type of energy, to Nadeska with delivering questions that focus on Kendrick Lamar's personal thought process of how he writes his songs, and now how he embraces all of the impact in 2024, shifting the hip-hop genre back to the fundamentals of what made it so amazing back in 1973. Ebro and Nadeska signed, sealed, and delivered. It's yours. And also drop a comment below. Let me know who's your favorite hip-hop artist of all time. Mine is always going to be Tupac, but the next one up is Kendrick Lamar, and you won't believe it. Right under there is The Game. I know.
Look, red rose, white ceiling. No body, no casket, just blood spilling.
Red rose, white ceiling. No body, no casket, just blood spilling. Red rose, white ceiling.
I have all his albums. I met him on stage in Long Beach. Then I got to meet DJ Quick in the back, but I had already threw up on stage. It was a whole thing. I'll talk about that another time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Go be amazing and have an amazing rest of your day.